Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I thought, yeah, let's do something else. Why not? Good evening, everybody. And need to press the right buttons here. The claves are there. Snare and kick. So what I'm doing currently is, for some who might know this, I start playing live again, so I need to expand my repertoire, and this is an old song from 2004 which I loaded in again. Of course, the recordings are inside of it, but it was at that time I also used some software, the software drums, which I'm now replacing with Punch 2. Currently I'm in Punch 2, and I need to have a different snare. So I'm going to check here, open Punch 2. Come on, baby. Where are you? Oh, here it is. Bass drum, and here's the snare. Okay, snare's a little bit too dry. And what I can do, of course, is then go to the FX. I have already this longer reverb of FX2, and I put on FX1 maybe a shorter for the snare. Snare's coming here. There it is. And so I'm using Punch 2 for the drums. At that time, I used something else. I think it was the RM4, which I loaded in my own samples, which are the 808, which I used in this song. So it fits very nice. And so let's see if I play the other things. And now it ends. Yeah, 2004. It's man, that's already 17 years ago. So I need to collect now the right sounds. When you play live, of course, you cannot play everything. So the solos I play live, and what I need to do is, of course, then study again on what I did. So you see here a few tracks I deleted because some of the audio tracks I did at that time when I was mixing in 2004, the software reverb were not that good at that time. So I used an external reverb and I recorded the wet sound of the reverb and add that as audio. And then I could mix everything. So it's a very slow rhythm. It's the beat. It's pretty much, but maybe I should. It's from the CD DayDreamer, and this is called the Evening Song. And I can play here the original mix, which is a little bit remastered. It's on. You can find DayDreamer on Spotify, it seems. So this is the original song, and it starts also with a choir. And the choir, I used Embracer, which was a Cubase thing. But of course that I can do now with Vecto or Bluetooth with the choir sounds. And here you see, for instance, the bass sound is a Jupiter, which I audio recorded at that time. But this is what you hear now is the original mix. Very, yeah, that's what I call evening song. It's a very relaxing song, which would be nice for live, I think. You can improvise. Here you see, comes in the drums. There's a very sound, which is from the microwave, and that's down here. That's one of my personal presets. So this is the original track, and maybe I should play it a little bit, and then we go in what I'm doing to get this track back alive for playing it live. No, I just use Cubase, but in Cubase you have the option to have a arranger track, and in arranger tracks you can go from one point to another point, and it's a bit similar, but it's called different. There's some noise that gets in. There's another sequence sound, which will I explain, which is also from the microwave, which I recorded at that time. So you don't hear the, you hear the audio only. So I have the solo of my voice and the mix. Let's see if I go a little bit down so that you see it. See, with my voice on solo and the mix is on solo of the evening song. Comes to it. It's of course old style electronic music. This is marimba. So what you hear is the original mix. So maybe I should shut down and then afterward we can discuss it. Yeah, now it fades out. So it's pretty much a very old track, and it's from the DayDreamer CD. Essentially, I was so busy creating software that I had no time to create more music. Shame on me, because yeah, it's 2004 that I released it, and so now I'm start playing live again. And the funny thing is, while preparing the live gig, which I did in 2019, also two new numbers did arise while playing it. Yeah, at that time it was mixed inside Cubase. So what I did is I used external reverbs because at that time, 2004, the computers were not powerful enough to to generate a high quality reverb. So, and what I did is I used the Avic Sand, and then I recorded the wet signal from the reverb, and that I mixed inside of it. And that's how I did it. I think after a while I did a remastering. I used a Master Magic to boof it a little bit up from the original mix, but it's pretty straightforward. Picture that this is electronic music. It doesn't have to be like EDM, you know. Massive error mass doesn't need. So yeah, that's called the evening song, and this is the original one. So now what I will do live is play sequences. In the background, I have a modular which will do some sequence work, and then the solos I play over it live because yeah, I only have two hands. And so now I'm checking out what I have from this old song, and you see down here all kind of things. Yeah, one thing I did already is selecting a pad sound. So okay, now everything. So this is the pad sound. And for this, I selected a B.I.T. one sound, which comes pretty close on what I use at that time. Okay, so let's see if I can hear that. So I really need to. Here's the pad. Yeah, Cubase SX was around 2004. I think maybe it was used in SX1 or SX2. And yeah, I could load in the song without any problems. Of course, it shows some things which are not on my computer, but this is then the path. Which is, of course, a little bit, again, the Jupiter 8 type of pad sound. And then, yeah, the other sound, which is this very big vibe, is this sound from the microwave. And picture that this sound from the microwave, here you see the MIDI. See where my mouse is? That's the MIDI, and this is the audio recorder. And I can play it solo. This sound doesn't have any delay or reverb. It's just the long release of this original sound. So let's mute the. Here it is. Stereo panning. Now you see here also a little bit of a aliasing inside the microwave, the old microwave one. But it goes with an LFO left-right. It's one of my personal sounds, which we used also in some of the Peru tracks. And I could not recreate this sound inside software. So that will be a challenge to have this kind of sound, because this I need to play live. Maybe I should try that with Blade 2. But you see, this sound is totally dry. I could not use delay or reverb on the sound in the mix because it eats so much already. Yeah, and then I recorded the Jupiter 8, which I did the bass, which is here. Now you hear it already has a delay, and that's what I'm using in on the stage as well. Even on the because on stage I also have with me a Moog, but I use then the inputs of the audio card, and I use then the FX Send setup. So okay, where is it? Here you see what I created here is a FX track with Delsane and twice Delsane. So okay, this one is, you see, that's an older one, Mod Delay, which is not available anymore, which I use at that time. But of course I can use now Delsane, and you see Delsane has two delays. One is a mono delay, which I use on this one. It's a 1/8 dotted. And the other one is the stereo delay. And that's also what I use live, because that's very handy. When I go live from one song over to the other song, I go in the arranger and select this other song part, and then you have the tempo change. Everything is inside of it, and the delay will catch up in the tempo. So that's also the reason why I use the built-in delays even for the external instrument. So in my live setup, I go with the Moog inside the mixer, but then with the FX Send, I simply use the built-in, the Delsane and the reverb FX of Cubase. So I don't have with me live any hardware FX. It's all happening in the computer. And especially with tempo-based things, that makes it easier. So if I would go to noise, so this was the bass, which has a mono delay, and here you can see in the FX Send, where is it? Oh, here it is. Here's the FX Send. You see mono delay, and you see here, you see the older lineup where I use the TC Electronics M1 still in my studio. I used at that time to mix, and you see here the lineup, and that of course I can throw away now. Let me see. Clear, yes. So now it's clear, and then I could use the noise sequence. Let's see where it is. Should be the noise sequence. Where are you? It should be audio recorded. I think that's this one. Here it is. And what I do down here is, and that's the FX Send, because in this song I have one stereo delay, one mono delay, and two reverbs. That's what I use live. And by FX Send, you can use them multiple times. You see the older ones pop up here, but here I can use the stereo delay. Here it is, and then you need to put it on, and then I have okay, this is always what confuses me. I think I'm having the wrong one. No. Delay. Okay, it should be working. Now let me see where we find the delay, because it goes to the stereo delay. I see there's a lot of old other stuff around it, which I don't use. You see here a lot of, no, which is of course. Okay, where are you? Stereo delay doesn't work. Why does it not work? Yeah, that's a good question, isn't it? Too much of a nonsense going on. Yeah, then you need to find, I don't know. Oh, it's because the solo. Stupid me. I think I should have solo also. Here it is. This one is a stereo delay. Then you can adjust it, a bit longer feedback. So you see the bass delay keeps on mono, which is this one. I removed the high frequency up to have no low rumble, made it a little bit muddy with adding the low pass filter. So the delay is less hi-fi, but that makes it more groovy. Yeah, and in my live setup, I use the same system. So then I also made here a FX reverb and a second reverb. Now in Punch, okay, let's go back. Okay, let's go back to unsolo. Okay. No, because you hear. Now here we have a cabasa, but I'm looking for this other sound. So I have the Jupiter bass, we had that one, but there's another sequence sound. Okay, but where is it? It's an audio recording. This drives me crazy. You hear the sequence sound? I don't know where it is. Ah, no. Let me go that one there. This one, here it is. Sorry. There's also microwave sound, and that one gets, of course, also. And you hear it's pretty long, this sound. Let me see where it is. Here it is, yeah. And you see all kind of that I need to clean up. Clear. Yeah, it's a lot of work to have everything again. And this one, I would say, let's make this one again a more. Okay, and I need to put it. Then I have to put again. Okay, sorry for moving all these things here. Mono. You see, this one has also mono, and what I could do, so it uses now the mono delay. Where is this baby? Yeah, this one. Hear that? And what I could, oh, it's a little bit panned to the left. So the instrument is a bit to the left. And then you get this mono delays in the middle. So you get really a different feel again. So that's also a way you can use delays. Not always everything on the stereo delay. Okay, so let's go back, put off the now, yeah, and then we have the tambourine, which is to dry. I use Punch 2 now for the drums. At that time in 2004, I used the RM4 with my own 808 samples. And now the tambourine is, of course, needs to be very far in the reverb. So when I open Punch 2, instead of using the FX sand, I use now in Punch 2 its own FX, because yeah, CPU wise, that's no problem at all. And of course the reverb inside, let me see where it is. There it is. And the reverb is of course high quality in Punch 2. It's different. I need to see. It's a different. I think the sound is maybe a bit too much. I don't know. Let's see. But these are little things you need to tweak if you load in an old song and you don't have the original plugin anymore. Then sometimes it's yeah, a challenge to get it back again. And of course, the best thing to do, even if you work with plugins, what I do now when I finish a track, I always make audio recordings of it. For the same reason, the plug is not available anymore, because you see here also the Jupiter is recorded. Of course, the Jupiter is in my studio, but I did audio record my Jupiter. I did audio record the microwave, because in this album I use a little bit more hardware. But if you have your own product, always wise to make and it is really an important project. Once you did mix it, make it the case that every track gets an audio track. That makes that you maybe have to remix or do something else with it, that you always can play it back. There's more than one tambourine in Punch. Yeah, I need to search for it. So yeah, so what I'm doing now for the people later, I play and also hope to play more live. But I use then some of my older songs, and the sequence I do also sometimes change dynamically. I have the modeler with me, so that I do some live things. The solos I play live, and of course you heard in this song when I play the original one, you had the pan flute at the end somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure what I used at that time. Could well be one of, maybe from the Protea 2000, from my own ROMs chips. But so I'm looking now for a same flute, because here you see this is the flute solo, it's MIDI, but it's still inside the song, of course. But now I connected then to Vecto to see if I can use one of the Vecto pan flutes. Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, it's 1 octave too high. Okay, what I could do, because it's the pan flute from Vecto. So the other one is 1 octave lower. What I can do is on Cubase, you select this whole thing and you go to the MIDI, and then you go to the transpose setup, and I say, okay, transpose this MIDI track 12 semitones lower, and let's see how it sounds. 12 tones lower. that will be a search for finding the right solo sound, but that's a matter of, and that I need to play. But this is a part which I need to play live. And you see here, by the way, you see here also the timing, the aftertouch. It's live played. And sometimes you see the notes are a little bit ahead of the real thing, but that makes the music alive. So with solo, I never quantize. I always play them manually. And you see these little bars pop up, which are then the aftertouch things. But for this, I need to find the right sound to play it live. Then I use at that time the FM7 for the marimba, and the FM8 I have. So it's this sound. So it's a. I'm not sure if So here we have the FM8. It's typically FM marimba. Of course, I also could check in Bluetooth for the sound, but I thought, yeah, maybe I can find it right away, the correct. I looked in mallets, and it was originally also a marimba type of sound. No. I think that it's this one, maybe. Let's see if we play the original one. So that's also a search for the right sound. But yeah, that's essentially what I do. So you see, it doesn't have that much of sounds. It has this choir sound also in the start, which I wanted to use. Missing Embracer. I don't know what it was. I think it was one of the Cubase instruments. And of course here I could use add track. Instruments, I could use here Vecto, because that had a pretty fast a vocal sound, choir sound found for it. Okay, here we have ambient. Let's see, maybe this one works. So let's just put it on. I drag this track down here. Let's see what does. Okay, I need to start at the first bar. So I changed the sound. I did shut down the string part of it. It's only this choir. So a little bit of editing. And of course, this part was the intro. I also can play live on the keyboard, and then you start in the arranger track, the next part. That's what I always do. Yeah, Bluetooth could also be used. And so, yeah, that's how essentially it will work out. It's many hours work before you have something ready for being used live. You see here, down here, I see trumpet. I think that's a part which I didn't use in the final song. And you see, it's not that much tracks. It's below 30 tracks in total. Yeah, it's so, and these are of course the drum parts. And you see, it's essentially, I think it's even less. I think it's maybe 12 instruments playing. So, see some people in the chat room. Yeah. GJ Dad, hello. Yeah, new in the chat room. Cool that you like Rocket. Rocket is a very different story from the music here now. This music takes people to fall asleep, you know, chill down. So yeah, I like to play live. I did not that much in the past because it's not so easy to play live synthesizer music. But now you can have with Cubase pretty much some good control. Okay, I need to save this one, by the way. Otherwise, file save. Okay, and now you can have a whole gig inside of Cubase where you can say, I go from one point to another. And I use for this the arranger track, which is then, if you put it here at track, where is it? Arranger, yeah, and then it pops here. And you can open it here and edit. There you see it, and you can make it this way that for instance, you pick here and you say this part, that's one part, and that's one part. Okay, so what I do then live is you see part A. Here I give a name, which is then our intro, and a B would be go the song, for instance. And then down here you would have another one. So this is a brilliant system. Of course, I think it's possible with a different ending. So what I show now, okay, maybe hopefully you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. I see it. Okay, so what you do now is then you have this and you see it down here. So I drag this up here, that one, and that one. And what I can do, the intro, you can say, okay, repeat forever. And this one also repeat forever. So once I'm live, I do this. I start with a song. I can improvise. So then I start playing with this part. And once I did my thing, I need to go to this screen and then, of course, be very careful not to hit the wrong button. But then I click on song. And then it moves, if it ends on that one, it moves over to the song part. And then it plays the whole song. You see, oh, you have to wait. It goes now to the next stage song. You see, now it goes into the song. Of course, this is just an example. And then you play the song, and then in ending, it goes from here automatically in ending. You see, in ending, and in ending, it loops endlessly. So there I can improvise again, and then I go to the next song. Of course, this chain, what you see here, is of course in my live setup a very long list. The only thing what I need to be very careful is that I when I'm on stage that I see this little part here that I don't click the wrong part. So but that's how I use the arranger track for playing live. I think maybe Ableton is on that subject a bit easier. I don't know, but yeah, I'm already happy that I can work a little bit with Cubase because the options are so huge. And okay, so let's remove this one. Remove selected tracks. Yes, there it goes. Okay, let's see. It can be controlled with a pad controller. I don't think so. Yeah, I think that will be easy to hit the wrong one, but I don't think that the arranger track can be used like innovation. I have no idea. Never looked into it. Okay, I'm checking. Rob, what PA systems do you use live? Well, it's from the last time I played on an electronic music festival, and they had a very nice concert room with a very high-end PA system. Now, next time when I play live, I don't know what it will be. It's also very challenging because it's for a public which is normally is not used to electronic music. Normally, on this little beach, they play bands or DJs, and then the um, um, the neighbor of my son asked, "Oh, why? That's cool. That's maybe an idea for playing here in Breda." So that's what I'm gonna do. But it's a small spot, and of course it's nice to be. But I want to expand it. It's nice to be on stage again. But I think the most people which will attend there will not don't know electronic music. I think so. That's cool. But that's how I work. And of course, once I prepare this, I need to copy it over. I use essentially copy and paste. So I select all the tracks and then I copy it over to the other song, and then I need to rearrange everything. So that's pretty uh, busy, or many hours does it take. But once it's set, you have everything arranged, of course. So the I think I have now 4 or 5 songs inside of it, and the things what don't play, which are already, which I don't play or change live, I do audio recording. So the drums, what you hear now, I will make it so that it's very nice, balanced and mixed, and then I'll put it as an audio track because I don't change the drums live. So that will be then a one sample track, which makes also the system more stable. And so the main computer does the sequencing, has some of the live played sounds, which are the plugins. So, for instance, I could have, for playing this song live, I could have the pan flute from Vector ready to go, and then one other sound next to it. I use a laptop for doing, and use the laptop essentially as a synthesizer. So, yeah, because what you also can do is, if you have this here, for instance, you say to make overview, otherwise it gets too much, you can say, okay, create a folder. You can drag and create a folder. So if you say this is too much information, or it's in the background playing, I don't need to change it anymore. I create a folder. Let me see how that one. Move selected tracks to a new folder. So then I would say, so if I could do, for instance, with Sponge, I could say these things, this, and the tambourine, the cabasa, and I could say move selected tracks to a new folder, and there it is, and then it's in a folder, and then you see here it's clear. And that's also what I have on stage, is that I have one folder which is called backing, which has all the things which I don't change live, which is the backing orchestra, as you could call it. So I would call this folder backing in this case. Yeah, because on stage I'm alone. I don't have a band with me, which one guy's playing the bass and the other playing the other things. So that's also a handy system. By the way, also handy if you have music creation and have a lot of tracks which are ready, that you can say, I drop them in one folder, so that keeps the rest clean. Okay. Yeah, that's Kafa says you can make parts longer. Indeed, it's a more chill part. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the next live thing is called Balcom Beach, and so I have in the start I recorded from Greece some ocean sounds, and this I'm gonna use. I don't think that I can find them easily. Let me see if I can find it here, guys. No, because you can use the give me 1 second. New samples. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Nature samples, raw data. Oh no, I'm looking wrong. Give me 1 second. So, because then I use the sample track, which is also handy. Let me show you what I did. Go to new samples. Okay. Raw data. Oh. Yeah, Greek. Here it is, Greek. These are the Greek samples. I create, that's what I did. I created a sample track, add track, instrument, sampler. Here it comes, water. I drag and drop the sample inside of it. Let me see, I think it's this one. Okay, and then calming, isn't it? So this is from Samos. My last holiday was in Samos, but I had also another one, C column. Amp. So now it shuts down, but then I need to create a long release. And that's of course fun if you are on a beach playing, and you add some. Can you believe this? This recording is done on high resolution on a Galaxy S8. It has audio recording and you can put audio quality stereo. It's amazing how good it sounds. So I could use this also in the start of this song. So like okay, no. Oh, did I lose something? Uh-oh. Yeah. It's the evening song in on the beach in Greece. Splash. Didn't record the splash. Yeah, you see, and then it starts, so I need to Yeah, you need to arrange a lot of things. This sound from the microwave I need to figure out. Maybe then I need to take with me the microwave to have this particular sound, which is so. I mean, it's a dry sound. I mean, it has a very long release, and this panning really makes. Yeah, I call this sound space vibes. And of course, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to. The bass should be a bit the same, but it doesn't have to be 100% the same. That's live. Live playing, you have freedom, of course, to so that's more a base of a song. Yeah, and this is a noise sound which comes in, which I still need to figure out. That's this one. And as it sounds now, it's really stupid. So if I put a little bit of sequence to have a little bit. So I need to figure out what. So I picked noise here. So I need to figure out this one. It's unclear what it did. I need to listen to the original one. It should be doing some kind of noise thing, and I used the B.I.T for it. Yes. So that's so a little bit different today. Live stream about what I do when I create music. And this was about taking a very old song, 16 years old, loaded it in Cubase again. It's most likely produced by SX1 or SX2, maybe SX3. I'm not sure, but loaded in nicely. Yeah, some of the plugins I use are not available anymore, but I did record also some hardware which I use in this song. So the Jupiter and the microwave. And now I need to combine it together so that on the live show I can use it again and play it as one of the songs. Yeah, the noise is, maybe I need to go to the original one to see what was going on. Somewhere here. Yeah, so that's how things go. Oh, yes. So you see, many hours work before you can start. So what I do now, once I prepare this, I throw out the FX Sand because I copy it over to the big live song. And then you have a lot of extra tracks, and then I can move them up to the spots. So for instance, the pad sounds will play as a sequence sound. So I make an audio recording and throw that in a audio track, which is already used for the pad sounds. Maybe I have to adjust the volume a little bit. And then, the other things I play live on top of it, using the synthesizers to make it a complete live thing. And of course, the track has its own tempo. So there's also a tempo track in this whole big song. of Cubase, and it's live. It's over 1 hour. Is inside this Cubase thing, and as I mentioned and showed, I use this arranger going from one point to another, so I don't have to load in the songs. If I go to next song, I don't have to load in. I simply go to the next spot, and so that's the system I use. Of course, when the computer crashes, which did not happen, lucky enough, then of course I have a little bit of a problem, but in most of the cases it's very stable. Okay. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it a little bit. You see here my recordings are from Greek loop. This is the calm, really sitting on the C, and I hold the mobile like this, so that it has the stereo recording. You can have a setting on your mobile to have high resolution and also stereo recording. And I was totally surprised how well it sounded. And yeah, that's what you hear. I mean, this recording of the C. Okay, let's play it again. It's amazing, isn't it? Maybe it's because of the good weather there. But I also had a recording where there's a lot of wind and you have inside of it, so that's a little bit harder than. Oops. You can play it also lower pitch. Then you get some weird sounds. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it a little bit. It's just a little bit of my own story while making music and playing live. So, and yeah, as always, we have a very nice song by Tom Alrich. He keeps us making happy with demo songs. And maybe it's less relaxing, and that's cool. So we will be wake. And here it comes. It's called Kick It Up a Notch. Thanks, Tom, for sending. Guys, thanks for watching. And we're gonna listen to the demo song of Tom Alrich. Kick It Up a Notch.